my kind of driving force for it is I met this guy, and we became great friends. And then he went back to prison for violating his parole, and that's when I realized that he had ever been in prison or ever like his past. And I thought that was like a super unique experience. I was very thankful to have that experience, that I got to see him as he was and not as somebody that I mean even our city would see him as. So that's kind of the theme we're going for this project, is just to see people as who they are.
I just needed to pick up the phone. I hope you hear the prayers I've been praying. Like even when you fall asleep, I pray that you and all your dreams are flying through the sky. You're about to run and start to sing in a choir.
Calls from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
From one dreamer to another.
From One Dreamer to Another is an album about forgiveness and compassion for those in and out of the prison system. Just what I learned through this project is that everybody has a past and everybody has a future. We all make mistakes and we all have dreams. Just to see people as people, and not dehumanize them for what they've done or their past.
I heard you could have grace for one another. Could you make a place for me? It's so hard to make a difference when you ain't set up to succeed. Could you see me without my past, but who I'm supposed to be? Could you see me as a human? Could you let me up the leash? I got so many felonies.
I think there's a false perception that guys coming home or ladies coming home, that there's this road that they can go down, and if they follow that script, they're going to be successful. We get out and we kind of looking around and we're going, okay, what's next? And the only thing we know what's next is what we're familiar with.
Just to hear somebody that's, I don't know, sharing the same vision and heart. Yeah, it's just to be, I guess, impacted by somebody who has been incarcerated, and you feel for that person genuinely with your whole heart. And when those people are hated or mistreated, it makes a huge difference than, hearing just a story on the news or hearing a story on social media.
When you're a kid, you're growing up like people that commit crimes or doing all this stuff, like they fit this stereotype of movies and all this stuff, but they look like me and they look like you. And so eventually you're like, I wonder what's really going on behind the scenes with that person, or everybody's a suspect, everybody's suspicious.
Do you think that there is anything keeping the re-entry process from being easier?
If we can change the mindset of how people see us, we can have a very positive impact on society and also in the lives of people. Like you said, you had a young man or woman, whichever, had an impact on your life.
I think you always want to treat people kindly. There's no reason, like me being harsh to somebody isn't going to change them. I'll be honest, like I could be as big a jerk as I want to somebody, but I don't think I ever saw any fruit from that as much as I did with being kind to somebody, and actually talking to them about that stuff. Like
I worked with a ministry right at about 8.5 years, and 7 years into it, one of the board members said, don't ask me to support him because I never will. The 7 years into, oh, absolutely.
Sheesh. You gotta set us free.
That's how we try to approach every patient. And why wouldn't I try to treat them the best that they could be treated? no matter what's going on, we all got shit going on. We all do. Some of us hide it better than others. But we all screw up.
Society has to make sure there's opportunities. You know, you hear things like, when I was coming through, it was a Second Chance Act. And I used to question how much of a second chance was it? Because your second chance was strictly based on what the government said you could or couldn't do. When it get hard, we go back to what we were familiar with. We go back to that instinct of survival. So we may go back into drugs, or we may go back into the things that we did before we got incarcerated.
My favorite time with anybody, even those repeat offenders, is like, dude, you realize this is the 7th time you're going to jail for this same thing. Like, I just want to tell you, like, apart from being a police officer right now, like, you need to find some help. You know, like, I care about you enough, so I don't want to see you in this situation again, and try to encourage them that they can change, but they're going to have to get help. Because sometimes people are in such a pit that they're trying to get themselves out, but if you're in a deep pit, you can't get yourself out. Somebody has to help you out. And so that's where that compassion comes in, but they have to be willing to let somebody help get them out of that pit too. So
I have the moments, even now, today, when I just want to throw the towel in. 21 years later, I want to throw the towel in. Just, you know, when you meet people and they love you until they hear your testimony.
Now I'm on my knees wishing, fixes misapprehensions, help me find forgiveness. In the river I'm rinsing.
It's so hard when you only see my flaws. Never see that I've been reaching for the stars. I'm just a man trying to.
Oh, gracious. I've worked with so many different organizations, but then there were still people out there that's like, nope, I'm not going to support him. I'm never going to support him.
You know, moments to show compassion to them was huge. Just to say, listen, I don't think less of you. We all make mistakes. You just have to learn from them, you know, and keep going on and not treat them as trash or whatever, you know, to be compassionate towards them like that. It was amazing how many people that I was just able to lift in those, honestly, for some of those people, is their darkest moment they've ever had.
One of my best friend ever, through high school, through junior high, through elementary, got into trouble, was in prison multiple times. That doesn't change how many times am I going to screw up that God forgives me? How many times does he have to screw up before I don't love him the same?
Biggest thing for me was finding someone that believed in me, you know, and I didn't find that person because I was hunting for them. They came along. When I was incarcerated, I met a group of guys, and we became one another's support system. It's like 6 of us. Yeah. And so we held each other accountable. We held each other accountable on the other side. We met when we was locked up together. And even to this day, you know, we are each other's support system.
I screwed up big before, and I ask for that grace from other people. I mean, I don't want people judging me. So if I expect that or hope for that from someone else, I hope I'm giving that.
You know, you see them as their mistakes, and we tend to, fall into that. So it's just encouraging hearing from Eddie that this project is important.
I could see things getting better if we could just stay together. If we could just stay together.
This song is called Love. Basically just how the act of love brings us to repentance and brings change.
Keep me a little company.
Even people that don't consider themselves musically gifted are, I think, always impacted by music. It's so tied to, I think, how we were created.
'Cause I can't stand the pressure.
That we want to let something out, whether that's in the form of music or art, just some kind of expression. I think God is craving that from us, definitely the gifts that He gives us.
Come home, you've been alone for too long. I think I can hear the chains fall. I will catch you when you fall. Come home, you've been alone for too long.
Just to bring a little more texture to that chorus.
Yeah, so just yelling behind him whenever he says the letters?
Yeah.
Okay.
L-O.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
I can see you shine. I feel miles away. What did you behind? Na, 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 na. Yeah, I like it.
People that make mistakes are still God's children and made in the image of God.
When you come out, when you don't have that support system and you look around and it's look like you all by yourself, don't give up. Because when you give up, you go back. Yeah. Keep fighting, fight for who you know you are, you know. And that's one of the other things. Know who you are in this journey. Not what you did.
I can see the light right now. I can see the light right now.
My hope for this project is that when it reaches the world, the documentary and the album just go hand in hand to further express how much we all need compassion, how much we're all human, and that we all have a past, we all have a future, and we all have a dream.
We're gonna be alright right now. We're gonna be alright. I can see the light right now. I can see the light right now. We're gonna be alright right now. We're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. I can see the sunlight. I hope things are well inside of yourself. Take care of yourself and use the past as a stepping stone so you can propel, so you can excel. Wash your hands with forgiveness like you got stock in Purell. I pray you find peace, more than a piece of the pie of the cake, of the joy of the feast. You show me the things, and not what they seem. To not judge a book without looking between. And when I'm caught up in traffic, I'll extend grace in place of the finger when passing. When I'm wrapped in the sadness, I'll remember the others are carrying baggage or eating the groceries right out of the plastic. I'll carry my joy in a basket that's classic, with sunshine or ribbons and a rascally rabbit. Until I'm in a coffin, but still wearing a mask and giving others a mercy that I'll need like a jacket. Whether you active or passive, down in the dumps or you are high like an addict. Whether you are perfect or more like the practice, I will be wrapping up next till my bronchials soar like Jurassic. Sheesh. You gotta set us so free. Yeah. You coming back and wait for the sequel, go for the dawn, to wait for the free throw. Heart of a lion, you going beast, more maybe in chains, but you gotta free, so free. Yeah, you gotta free, so free. Yeah, you gotta free, so I'm your free, so there's nothing my fear holds on. I'm conquering each roll wild, never step below the valley of death. I know what's next. See my dream prophecy when I slept. You looking up peaceful. Just look at your keys, go. They go to your free, so open your eyes, see how far your dreams go. Free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. So killing this thing with the sword of the spirit, obeying his words. Whenever you hear it, you killing your demons. So looking up feelings, you washed by the blood and your soul is the cleanest. He is in every step that you take and holding on every word that you pray. And even on days when you are in change, you saw them free when you come to the grave. No matter the story, no matter the beat, you're exactly who you made it be. Look in your hand, you holding the keys. You may be in chain, but your soul is free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. Yeah, you gotta show this, so free. was the one that is holding the keys. Calling G's when you're in peace. Demons get at you even when you sleep. And they know better than to mess with a piece. You got a soul to go up in your sleep. They know who shared the blood that you bleed. They know who washing the touch of your feet. And they know who created the beat. Maybe in chain, but just on the free. Talking the phone till we get a beat. I see you flying, spreading your wings. Trying to go run your head, look like king. At least that you created to be. I am just telling you the things that I see. I pray fear and anxiety will start to leave. And by the Jehovah, yeah. It don't matter how many bars you behind, homie. Your soul is free in the darkness, you still shine on me. If you ain't got nothing left, you still alright, homie. I'm thankful for the present, blessed to call you my homie. I want you to witness just how far your dreams go. When you let go of the things that your fear holds. You coming back, can't wait for the sequel. Maybe a change, but you got a free soul, so free.